with you, and it's very clear as we see it here.
And what's cool is Katarina's damage has actually been moved around so much of it is now layered onto her passive, so you have to be paying attention to where you place those daggers and making sure that you're actually getting the splash AoE off of them.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if this is a trend as well, but the logic that Naru used applies for Katarina as it does with LeBlanc, is the damage isn't all immediate and upfront now. It's more, you have to be thoughtful, you have to actually plan where you're going to go and then hit all of the, I guess, pathing to make it work. Both supports were similar with this, so we'll see if that actually continues through, as Dumbledore did show he can play it well.
It was so anticlimactic when the Katarina got the first triple kill, because they saw everyone going mid lane. Everyone saw each other and they all opted for the fight, and then there was a triple kill for one team and the other team just lost horribly, so I think they could have just backed out.
And it was...
This is not a game mode for backing out, to be fair. This is a game, it's man mode. You just go in, no questions asked.
But it was so important that he did get that triple kill, because again, if you look down to the bottom lane, the Ahri and the Katarina were splitting farm. Vedia said it on cast that both those champions are so dependent on like itemization, and so if he didn't get that triple kill, he was pretty much screwed. He was going to fall really far behind and not be able to do anything, as well as you know, gouging out his Ahri's gold source.
And they were losing lane.
Yep.
They were getting 2-for-1s and stuff, so they were actually losing trades in the bot lane, and even after the Katarina got the triple kill, they were still trading 1-for-1.
Yep.
Well, we'll take a look exactly at how Dumbledore's stats played out in that game. Some pretty fantastic numbers coming up for this guy as we get ready here. However, we are going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We love you as much as Vedius loves Katarina. And we've got more Assassin's Mode madness coming up.
Katarina.
3年見てきて思うことは、一番レベルのっていうのが一番は魅力なんじゃないかな。
お隣の韓国、世界最高の地域から人材もそうですし、あとはチームの形、組織であったりインフラの部分も吸収していこうという、そういった成長していく姿勢といったところは日本のアピールポイントになると思いますね。
なんというキャリー2人倒されてしまう。
去年のグランドファイナル、初めて e スポーツシーンを作れたって周りに堂々と言えた選手が悔しがっていたり、あとはもうヘトヘトだったんですよ。5戦もやったので、なので称え合ったりで、お客さんがそれを見て感動してたので、そこが一番印象に残ってますね。
海外のファンは最初からギアがガッと入ってる。日本のファンはどうしてもそこの試合の内容につれてどんどんギアが上がっていくっていう印象で、頂点、ギアがマックスまで入った時のその熱量っていうのは全く海外と遜色ないと同じレベルにあると思うんですけど、試合の内容以上にファンの力強さといったところを強く感じます。僕がLGL 見てて思うのは、さまざまな地域のエッセンスが混ざり合ってるなと。やはりまずは韓国からのエッセンス、人材もインフラの導入といったところも進んでますから、韓国のエッセンスを感じつつも、NLCS の影響も強かったりだとか、あと一方で台湾との交流も実はあるんですよね。台湾のメタを取り入れたシールに実はあったりするというところで、複数のさまざまな地域からの影響下にあるというところが LGL の面白いポイントだと思いますね。
材料が転がってるわけですよ、世界に。それをうまく取り入れて料理してるのが LGL だよって、ずっと2番手だった選手とかもやっぱりいたりとか、その選手が今年じゃあ見てみたら1番だとか、去年まではっていうような選手にいきなり急成長をして、そういう意味で LGL は僕にとっては、ストーリーであり物語であるのかなとは思ってますけど。
a triple kill. Swipe for Naru. He's looking for the upside. He's going to do it. It's one. It's going for Silver. Oh my God. One more takes it up. Naru going to
Welcome back to the International Wildcard All-Stars. We're about to get into our next Assassins Mode matchup. It's time. Latin America South for Team Ice and Japan of Team Fire. I feel like we learned a lot, guys, in that first game.
Did we?
No. It was insanity. But please tell me you learned something, because I am lost. What is the meta evolving now for the Assassin Mode?
Not Shaco, and I think Diana jumps up pretty high on everyone's tier list, at least for this game mode.
So overall, is it Diana just the ability to build tanky? What makes her so strong?
Yeah, I think it's having the extra shields as well. So Diana can build these like pseudo-tanky items, get the Abyssal Scepter, the Zhonya's Hourglass, and things like that. But you also have the shields, which is such a big fake health value again that can add up to too much and stop assassins from actually killing you.
And that's the big thing, you know, across from LeBlanc, as she's kind of the big picker, what we expected to come into that mid lane. Diana actually has a really favorable matchup against LeBlanc, or at least can survive it. So I think that there are counterplays, and LeBlanc just doesn't outright destroy everything if we start to see her come into that mid lane.
Curious as well, we do have, 10 new players on the stage, all with different experience levels on Assassins, but one guy that stands out to me is Saros, kind of knows as an innovator in so many circumstances. Do you think we're going to see anything weird from this guy?
I know that Japan came into this tournament and they, quote, said, "We have secret strats," end quote. Saros already brought up the Vel'Koz yesterday. We know that he likes to play things before they become meta. Zilean obviously kind of the big pick that made him famous. So I would never put it past Saros to just either pick something weird or put a weird spin on something.
One final thing, Mithy, is there any assassin that you want to see that we have not seen yet?
Well, I want to see LeBlanc mid lane for a start, and I also want to see Talon. Those are the two things that I would really love to see.
It was a LeBlanc support. Shouldn't you be happy about that? Isn't that going to be like
it actually
LCS?
worked well, and I also want to point out how I was really surprised with Ahri, and I actually think there is a very high possibility that it's actually viable.
All right.
Because I feel like having a ranged champ in the bot lane means you can just win lane.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see if Ahri remains a pick, what we're going to see coming up, or if anyone is going to mix it up. But as the players are almost ready to choose their assassin, let's send it over to Vedius and Halibut.
Thank you, Tesla. I'm still Matthew Fish-Stewart, and still joining me is Andy Vedius Day, and we're about to get into the second assassin match of today. Are you excited for this one, Vedius?
I'm very excited, and I, too, Mithy, want to see some talent.
I can't wait. Hopefully get some more parkour on the Rift, but let's take a closer look at our All-Stars taking to the Rift. In the blue corner, representing Team Ice, Latin America South. Up in the top lane, it's going to be Helia from Furious Gaming. In the jungle, Kratos will be from Isurus Gaming. Plugo in the mid lane for Chaos Latin Gamers. And the AD carry, Warren, the godlike Vayne, will be playing as the AD carry. And the support for him will be Bear from Chaos Latin Gamers as well.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the Rift, representing Team Fire from Japan, they have top laner Evi from 7th Heaven. In the jungle is Tussle from Rampage, the man that actually won them their 1v1 last night. Their mid laner Seros from Detonation Focus Me. On AD carry is Hareti from Unsold Stuff Gaming, and their support Dara, also from Rampage.
And these two teams currently undefeated at the moment in the International Wildcard All-Stars. Japan actually sitting on top of their group after their 1v1 victory last night. They took it to all 5 games, and we actually saw an assassin then, Vedius.
Yes, we did. We actually saw Rengar coming out in the 1v1. Oddie actually brought that one out. We saw a Trundle, which I wasn't a massive fan of. But yeah, it was very fun. A lot of cool stuff came out. But I'm hoping that, I think if anyone's going to bring out the crazy stuff, it'll actually be Tussle. I feel like that he will be the type of player that'll be like, you know what? I feel like playing jungle talent, think of the jungle clear speed. It would be so good. I'm just parkouring your way through the jungle, being like, oh, I'm going to clear this, jump over the wall, going to clear this, efficiency.
Well, you were telling me the other day that Tussle's been able to 1v9 before, so surely 1-on-5 as an assassin shouldn't be that hard.
Well, I mean, it depends if you get gold, and it depends if you have a repeat of Carbon's performance where you go mid and give double buff for level 4. I mean, that's typically not how you want to start off your game, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, we do have a list of champions that are allowed. Some things that we didn't see was Master Yi. We didn't see any of that. Didn't see any in Italy. Saw no Nocturne. Now, Fish, you might not know this, but actually in the UK, I'm a bit of a well-known Nocturne mid player. right?
Huh.
Believe
I just
it or
thought
not.
you played Katarina and that's it.
No, actually, because for a long time, Katarina kind of sucked mid. But Nocturne mid actually used to be one of my specialties after I saw Korean do it. Now I'd love to see, some Nocturne mid lane, but I don't know if they even know about the legendary Nocturne mid. We'll have to wait and see. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, no bans, all blind pick.
Yep.
Neither team knows what's going on. And earlier in the day, Oceania definitely had a game plan coming in. Turkey seemed to be more of go with the flow style. You know, they just sort of picked what they felt like. And it looks like for the time being, there's nothing set in stone other than the LeBlanc mid.
Well, look at this. So far, Team Ice is going almost according to Mithy's OP tier list here.
Yeah.
They've got the Rengar in the jungle locked in as well as the LeBlanc mid lane finally, so Mithy will be able to get a look at that one. And we are going to see Akali up in the top lane for Team Ice, and it seems like Pantheon and Katarina will be their bottom lane.
This is literally Mithy's team aside from the Akali in the top lane, and I would argue that Akali is actually a slightly stronger duelist in terms of the 1v1 when you compare it up to Talon, largely because of the changes to invisibility. So now a pink ward or control ward cannot spot her out anymore. So she has a lot more safety up in the top lane. She's been given added damage to her passive, and she has a little bit more wave clear and sustain with the rest of her kit. So she's quite the powerful duelist. Meanwhile, on the other side, once again, we're seeing another support LeBlanc paired up with the Aries. This seems to be a common thing, perhaps, that the teams identified in their scrims last night. Another Diana coming out in the mid lane into the LeBlanc. You heard them talk about it on the analyst desk, how the Diana is typically considered fairly strong in that matchup. But we're also going to get the rivalry, Kha'Zix versus Rengar up in the jungle. It's certainly going to be exciting to watch.
And it's going to be fun to watch. I mean, just look at all the smiles in the players' faces here, Vedius. You know, normally when we watch them play competitive matches, they're all serious, they're all ready to go, they want victory here, but everyone just looks like they're having a hell of a fun time here on Summer.
Well, I mean, we are too. You know?
Certainly.
That's the best thing about the international wildcard All-Stars is you get to see a bunch of fun stuff. You get to see a lot of Katarina. I mean, this is the second game now. I'm really happy that we're seeing all these diverse team compositions. It's always nice to see something interesting.
So am I, but don't forget to vote for your favorite teams here at LOL Esports on Twitter. Use the hashtag LASWin or the hashtag JPNWin and vote for your favorite team. But enough of that, we're getting back on the Summoner's Rift for the second Assassin Mode match of today.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. In terms of team compositions, remember, you want to build damage and kill your opponents. That's the typical playstyle of the Assassin comp.
Man mode only.
Yeah, man mode only. Level 1, though, it looks like Team Ice definitely have some strategy up their sleeve. Are they just going to do the solo queue where you literally run through the river?
It looks like they're going to
They've
try and
been
do just that.
spotted.
Bear is actually taken stun at level 1. He flashes forward. He's on top of Dara. The chains are not going to connect because he's going to be able to mimic his way out. 2 flashes already. Saros is going to have to get the heck out of there as well. Oh my goodness. Latin America South, they were out for blood there.
I feel like there should have been a little bit of better communication coming out from LAS because there was only one flash from Bear. He just committed. He knew that he was spotted. He didn't care. He just went for it. And Plugo should have immediately followed him with the chains. But it wasn't there in time. Dara was able to spec his distortion, get out to safety, didn't lose any summoner spells. And speaking of summoner spells, it actually looks like the Saros is going to go a little bit more defensive, decided to go for the teleport. My opinion, it's the coward's way out, but there we are. That's just my opinion, all right? I feel like it's all or nothing in this game mode.
So what, no flashes allowed either? Just exhaust ignite, go in there.
The dream, Fish. The dream. That's what I would love to see.
Restricted summoner spells, restricted champions, and restricted items. That's
like a
what
Welsh
Vedius
night
wants
out.
here. You know,
No flashing.
but-
It's only about getting exhausted. Getting exhausted and setting things on fire. Typical night out in Wales.
Oh, goodness. Well, I'm pretty sure you're still happy with the Katarina pickup here. At least there's one in each game you're casting here today.
Yeah, I mean, we can start by talking about the bottom lane because when you look at the Katarina Pantheon, this is something that Mithy was talking about on the desk, where you have the CC setup from the Pantheon. This actually buys time for you to set up the daggers the way in which you want, so then you can go aggressive, you can get the resets, and then you can jump out to safety. So it's quite a good combo. The big problem they're going to have is the range disadvantage versus the Ahri and the LeBlanc. It looks like they're actually going to run double AP, or at least start that way, so they have a lot more wave clear available to them. And this could be a bit of a tricky situation when you're going up against double melee.
Oh, Saros taking the Storm Raider Surge instead of the Thunderlord. So 19 Thunderlords have been picked up so far in Assassin's mode.
Seros is not rating very highly on the man scale right now. But
Kratos.
I'll tell you who is Kratos looking for a gank in the mid.
He's level 3, looking to try and get down into the bot lane. Hereti and Dara in a lot of trouble here. Teleport actually coming down. There's the jump. Bear's jumping in. Kratos being exhausted. And here comes Evie. Gonna be able to pick up first blood onto Kratos there. LJL turn around the gank.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're watching. This is how you counter the level 3 gank. You run the Pantheon top. You go for the early teleport and you get the counter gank. It was a big boon for Team Ice that both Warren and Bear were only level 1, so they couldn't contribute to the gank. Have a look at this. They're forced underneath their turret. They've already been chunked out. Kratos is effectively in a 1 versus 3, and they have Exhaust Ignite with the Ahri and the LeBlanc. So it was just, honestly, not a very well-timed gank. They should have waited for the level 2 mark before trying to force that. But First Blood going to go over to the side of Japan.
Even Seros there propping his teleport to try and get in for the action. But Tussle moving up in towards that top lane. Helios in a lot of trouble. He's gone invisible, trying to duke it out and dodge away from Evie. But the flash forward comes out from the Pantheon. Helio going to try and take him one-on-one here. Tussle is just running around in circles, trying to see if he can get back into it. Flashes forward. Helios been able to flash away here. Let's see if he can get out. The Shroud's coming up in 1 second. Helios, can he do it? Not just quite. 0.5 seconds left for him to get back into the safety.
So close for Helior to get the invisibility and get out. If he just bought half a second, he could have very well been able to get out of that one, but unfortunately for him, it wasn't enough. I feel like he honestly should have just committed onto Evie. He was level 4, Evie was level 2, and even though he blocked the actual, the second proc of the Q, I feel like he could have been able to turn that around. Nevertheless, he still has a big farm advantage, he still has the item advantage. But take a look at this. He's pushing up very aggressively. He doesn't have the vision to predict for the Kazakhs. But this is the changes that you're seeing right now. Invisibility. No longer can you get spotted out by any pesky wards. And typically you'd actually see Evie actually take a huge chunk of damage, but thanks to the block, he actually mitigates a lot of that. Very good flash here from Helior. And it's a shame that we can't actually see the cooldown on his W because it was literally just there about to come up. But then the CC from Evie and Tussle combined was enough to get the kill.
But LJL now 2-0 up against Latin America South. Froskurin was saying that they had a couple of sneaky plans coming into the International Wildcard All-Stars. And they've shown a few of them so far. Let's see if they can continue to do more here. There's already Hereti and Dara pushing up the bottom lane. The LeBlanc as well as the Ahri combo in the bottom lane. No AD on this Ahri this time around, going for ability power instead.
Well, because last game was so action-packed so early on, we didn't really get a chance to talk much about the LeBlanc changes. So now, there is a little bit of a delay on your return with the distortion. So when you jump in, you have to wait, I believe it's 0.25 seconds before you can actually return to your original spot.
Yep.
But also you can see the still active around the targets that you hit with the spells. That now can be changed with another CC, another ability to do bonus damage. And that's really where a lot of her wave clear from, is Tussle now moving to the mid. I don't think he should go for this gank.
He was looking for it. Plugo's going to get quite a bit of damage down here on towards Tussle. Ignite actually being popped as well. Plugo, he's a little bit angry that there's a Kha'Zix in his lane.
This is my lane. He's sending a message. Plugo now just hitting level 6. And this is really the big point for LeBlanc now, because the big change to her ultimate is that she actually makes a mimic of herself. But we might not have time for that as the bottom lane.
Dara in a little bit of trouble. They're going to get stunned up. There goes Warren trying to jump in. Ignite is sticky. He should go down here as Warren gets the return kill.
So they end up trading 1-for-1 down in the bottom lane. Warren playing hyper aggressive. He would have gotten the reset if he was able to pick up his dagger, but Dara is able to flash away in time. Is now Helio going aggressive on Evie.
Evie taking a lot of damage here. Helio trying to dash in. He's going for the dive. The Aegis has come back up for Pantheon. Looking to see if he can duke it out with Helio there, but gets incredibly low.
The only reason why Helio decided not to commit to that was because of the passive block that Evie had managed to pick up for himself. But let's backtrack to the bottom lane. Dara plays aggressively, and this is where you see the change to the W. The 0.25 enables you to actually respond with the hard CC, and you can see if Warren was able to pick up that dagger just a little bit faster, he could have gotten a reset. Doubt he would have been able to get out regardless, but still 1-for-1 on the bottom lane. Not bad considering how hard they've been pushed back early on.
But it's still dead even between LAS and LJL here. Both teams have about 10,000 gold, about 300 extra in LJL's favor. As Tussle now going to donate blue buff on over towards Seros, like a good jungler.
Very kind of them. In this game mode, I would never give my mid lane a blue buff, because that would make it harder for me to kill things. So I mean, it's all about killing stuff in this game mode, remember? And right now, Japan are winning in the killing game mode. But we do see Tussle moving around to the top half of the map. In terms of the farm differential, Rengar actually does have the advantage. He is now level 6. The changes to his ultimate means that his invisibility lasts way longer. But he can now only see one target, which is one of the big differences. And now Chain lands onto Saros.
Yeah, Saros taking quite a bit of damage there. Plugo gets a good spell rotation out. But the Negatron Cloak that Dino was able to pick up previously, mitigating a lot of the damage dealt there. Tussle will continue farming up the Krugs. They will just keep splitting here. And now Kratos looking like he wants to get in towards the bottom lane. Instead, we'll recall just behind the turret.
So much more passive early game compared to game 1. We're having a much more chilled out time. We're just relaxing, chilling, which is fine. You know, there's no problem with that. It looks like the Plugo actually may be looking for a roam up top. Tussle moving in for a bit of a cheeky sneak play in the top lane. I do feel like Emmy needs it just a little bit because in terms of the dueling powers, Helior goes aggressive.
Helior going very aggressive. He jumps into Heavy, finds Tussle. He's going to get melted here. He has next to no health. Plugo's going to try and run up. He's jumping in, trying to get the distortion down. Tussle chasing on towards Helior. Here comes Kratos as well. The Rengar's up here looking for the kill on towards Kha'Zix. Plugo gets the kill onto a minion. What are you doing, Plugo? Messes up the kill there. And Fire pick up 1 kill for themselves. Meanwhile, double kill for Rowan somewhere else on the map. But that doesn't matter because Fire, they're going to kill up in the top lane.
Now action is really starting to kick off, but I don't know if the action's done just yet.
Going back in, Plugo's been locked down. Evie's stunned underneath the turret. Kratos picks up the first kill. Now Saros, with his only Negatron Cloak, is trying to run away from an AD damage-dealing Rengar. Trying to kite away from Kratos. Plugo looks like he wants to come back in. He puts a ward over the wall, jumps on top of it, the blasting code, the flash forward for Kratos, but he goes into Tussle. The outplay from Team Fire. Tussle takes up the chains as well, sacrificing himself for Saros as Helior comes back down. Dana goes back in, gets the double kill. My goodness, Team Fire, they're playing out of their minds.
And the action just keeps on going.
Tussle's gone as well. Thunderlord's proc for Bear. He's going to pick up a kill as well. It's now 6-6 between LAS and LJL.
My word. So now we have to backtrack to what even happened down in the bottom lane. This is the true power of Pantheana. I guess that's the name of the combo now. Stunned up to Dara. Level 6 cat into the resets. That was so well played, actually. Oh man, that was actually very good, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Focusing more on what happened in the top side. This is after the initial trade where they get the turnaround onto the Akali. They go for the dive, gets rooted up by the Rengar so that he ends up eating all those tower shots. Saros is forced to go on the retreat, and this is where Plugo gets a little bit greedy. He thinks that he can go for the chase. He wants to pick himself up the kill. Kratos is expecting the plant, so he flashes preemptively. Doesn't expect Tussle there waiting for him. Ends up paying for it with his life, and then Saros, he's actually stuck between a rock and a hard place right now because Plugo knows that Helior is coming in from the flank. So Saros then just has to make the decision, thanks to the ward, I'm going to turn this around, I'm going to get the kill. And I believe that was something like a 3 for 4 in favor of the LAS.
Big team fight coming up from LAS. They tie up the scoreboard. The gold is still tied up between these two teams. Up in the top lane though, Helior looking for Evie. Here comes Kratos. Well, they lock down the Pantheon. He's going to try and crash guy fall away. The man Pantheon, he's going to be able to get out. Helior can't chase him down. And now Tussle's up in the top lane as well. He is out for blood, looking to chase out Helior. Saros is coming on as well. Kratos has gone invisible, trying to run away. He's camouflage, running between the turret. Evie jumps back on top of him. Kratos can't quite get him, but it's a double kill picked up by Saros.
Evie with the outplay. That was fantastic. Incredible stuff coming from the top laner. And now a Pantheon in the bottom lane.
Dara's going to get stunned up. Plugo tries to chase it down. He's coming up to try and save him. He throws out one more spear. Goes over the wall. Bear gets a kill towards Dara. Heredi trying to dash around. The wolves are Pantheon's friends. And they attack Heredi relentlessly. Trying to help him out. The Heartseeker strike's coming out. One last auto attacks it up. And Heredi gets the kill.
And the 2 versus 1 now. Warren.
He's been stunned up. Shutdown comes out from Evie as they take him down. A little bit greedy there from the Katarina.
So LJL have all of a sudden gotten themselves 4 kills on the board. That was insane from all the Pantheons around the map. This is nothing like game 1. 2, 1, and 3 for Bear. 2, 1, and 4 for Evie. My word, what an insane series of events. And look at this, Evie ends up falling for the same trap that he set up earlier on. He uses the Hex Tech thingamabob to get that magic shield. He ends up jumping out with the ultimate, and Helio, he's already used all of his dashes to try and go for the kill. But Klados thinks, okay, I'll trade my top laner for their top laner, but he waits a little bit too long, and this is where Seros joins the fight. He gets the initial kill. Fantastic response from Evie. He reads Klados like a book. He knows he's going to go for the kill. He has the leap stun ready. He gets it. Now Bear, he moves into the enemy jungle aggressively. Level 8 to level 6, gets the stun. He has the base stats to just shred through him, and he gets a kill in a 2 versus 1.
Meanwhile, Klados being jumped on here. Tussle pops his ultimate, goes invisible. The chains are locking him down. He's going to fall. Tussle gets a kill. Bear has to run away there, but there are still a couple of members from LAS trying to collapse here. Plugo waiting in the wings, gets the stand down towards Xeros, but he jumps back in, tries to pull it back. Tussle goes over the wall. Here comes Dara, misses the chains. He'll mimic back to safety there, but LJL, they're not going down without a fight.
So Klados ends up getting caught out of position, doesn't quite respect the damage coming out from Tussle, who is now level 9. Now Evie looking for another 1 versus 1, level 10 to level 8. All these exchanges that have been happening in the top lane have massively turned things in his favor.
Whew, that's a lot of damage coming out from Evie there. One spell rotation chunks out Helio to half his health.
Meanwhile, Warren split pushing down into the bottom lane, up against the Ahri. And a couple of items have been completed. So have a look at this. Zhonya's now finished first for Heredi. I hate that build. Awful. Truly terrible. Don't understand why you do it. You either want to go for an early Morello, or you want to just get the Abyssal in there. It makes way more sense up against the Cat, who's now looking for blood.
Warren pops down the Hextech Gunblade, avoids the charm coming out from Heredi.
He would have gone for that if Dara didn't show up. 100% he would have gone for that. Typically, you want to start with the Shunpo, then you W, then you Q, because by the time you've closed the gap, you then get the reset on the Shunpo after already dealing the damage. Then you can jump to your next dagger, get another spin-off. But he decided not to commit for any of that. Meanwhile, Plugo in the mid.
Being very aggressive here towards Seros, locks him down with the change, mimics back to safety and away from Diana. He's picked up an Abyssal Scepter for himself, so going to be able to mitigate a lot of the magic damage that LeBlanc deals.
It certainly makes sense against the LeBlanc. This is considered why Seros or Diana is a pretty good pick into the LeBlanc. Meanwhile, have a look at this Evie coming in the mid.
Here comes the Grand Skyfall. Plugo going to try and jump away. He mimics, but flashes into a wall. He's now going back into the mid lane. Here comes Dara, though. He tries to trick his way out, but it's not enough. There's 4 members of Team Fire in the mid lane. As Tussle, he's looking for Helio, jumps on top of him, gets a lot of damage down. Helio stands his ground, pops the Shroud, and is trying to run away. That ward's not going to help you, but the flash will Tussle as he gets a kill into Helio.
I love the fact that Tussle put a ward down there thinking, why isn't this working? But nevertheless, he still gets the kill now. Bear being the aggressor.
Oh, you are a man, Bear! No, why'd you get this? He goes in! Let's goes Klados, he's jumping in as well! That's 1 kill for Team Ice, but they lose their Pantheon for their troubles.
Bear, it doesn't matter whether you got a kill or didn't. You have earned my respect for being the manliest Bear around. What a play that was. 1 versus 4, does not care, and they get a kill. I call Worthfish.
Yeah, the halls of Valhalla are going to welcome Bear there, because that was absolutely manly. Died in combat. Team Ice are now going to take this time to try and take a Dragon for themselves. They're about 4,000 gold behind the LGL squad at the moment.
I mean, in terms of the gold, definitely the Japanese team are in control. But I mean, the LAS have done a good job of putting up a fight. I feel like the bottom half of the map has definitely gone in their favor. They've gotten a lot of 1v1, 2v2 kills down there, but Tussle is just doing so much work around the map.
Helio tries to use the Shroud to jump away from Tussle, successfully avoids the Kha'Zix. In mid lane, no mid lane outer turrets are left available. Sarah's going to get jumped on by Plugo. He's trying to jump away. Warren's coming in as well. Takes a move, strikes in the face. As Fire work together to take down Plugo. Warren now jumping on top of Saros, but it's not enough. Saros deletes him before he can spin around even once.
Unfortunately for Warren, he realized far too late that this was not a fight he could win. Ends up getting caught out now. Bear.
He's in trouble, gets stunned by the chain, stunned by Evie, and Saros goes on a rampage as he gets another kill.
Diana proving to be one of the stronger assassins in this game mode right now. All 4 members of Team Fire are pushing down the mid, with Heredi down in the bottom lane saying, guys, I still gotta get farm. I'm playing for late game, okay? That's why I've gone for an early Zhonya's.
Followed by a Negatron cloak.
Why? This isn't a man build. This is a, I'm gonna play safe like an AD carry. No, Heredi, no. Death Cap, get it now. Promote yourself to a wizard professional and wizard yourself all over the enemy team.
Well, for now, he's a knight, Vedius. He's got a lot of armor and magic resistance. He does not want to take any damage on the Rift. As you see the rest of Team Fire able to chunk away at this bottom lane outer turret. Kratos actually popping his ultimate, trying to hunt somebody down. That's going to last for quite some time, but can't quite find anyone just yet.
V5 Fofa. Whoops, I misclicked my number.
Number R.
Anyway, right now Team Ice looking to try and contest the blue buff, but Tussle, he wants to...
Oh, he's going in. He's a man right now, but he pays for it with his life as Dara's the next target. Warren gets the reset. He's going to be able to pick up a kill already. Dashes over the wall and gets back to safety. Seros is trying to walk away with him as Kratos takes his time to farm up Team Fire's jungle.
All right, Tussle, all right. I respect that too. Diving into 4 members. Pretty confident, but you don't get the same sort of isolation damage as you would previously. So have a look at this. He just goes head first. He feels like he has the support from Dara and Heredi. What he doesn't realize is Heredi does no damage. He tries to go onto Plugo. It does absolutely nothing. Plugo, on the other hand, is stacked full of damage. Gets the distortion, gets the mimic distortion on top of that as well. And they're able to chase down Dara thanks to the resets from Warren. So, excuse me, just a bad decision from Tussle to go in for that exchange. But maybe if already had some damage, all I'm saying, my friend, all I'm saying.
Well, you're not going to like this very much, Vedius, but there are 3 Sonya Hourglasses inside of Team Fire.
I mean, what would you want, right? If you wanted to be remembered in history as someone in assassin mode, do you want to be the guy that had a good figure and turned golden? Or do you want to be the fully fledged wizard?
I don't know. I'd like to be an assassin. Which one's an assassin? One seems like a wizard.
Hat.
Well, meanwhile, Helio, he's not too much of a wizard. He's going to get chunked out. Tussle picks up that kill. They go straight back towards taking another Rift Herald.
Well, I mean, that's the first step to becoming a wizard, making your opponents disappear. They are going to pick up that Rift Herald. Going to be handed over to Evie. I mean, at this point, do you want to split push? No, you want to group up and fight. So maybe it's helpful. We'll have to see as the game progresses. In fact, Seros now being moved into the split push position. Level 13 has decided to go for a very traditional build path with the Diana. The Abyssal makes a lot of sense going into the LeBlanc. And the Zhonya's, I suppose, also makes sense, but Kratos, he wants some action.
And he's popped his ultimate, looking to try and jump on someone from Team Fire. Teleport actually coming out from Helio to try and group out the rest of the team. The camouflage does get spotted. He's hunting on towards Dara, can spot the LeBlanc at the moment. As he just dashes over the wall, gets back to safety. So Kratos, again, just can't quite find anyone with his ultimate.
Look at how long he's invisible for, Fish. He literally baited both their charm and the chains, and he was still invisible long enough for both those abilities to come off cooldown. That is the change that has been made to Rengar. He's basically a Kali 2.0.
Tussle now looking to try and get a fight up in the top lane. Seros, meanwhile, fighting in the bottom lane. Tussle's going to fall immediately. Warren gets a nice ultimate on, picks up 2 daggers. Heredi's now jumping over the wall, puts the exhaust out onto the Katarina. He's going to fall next. Evie, he's not going to be able to get out alive because Bear gets a kill. Heredi flashes away from Plugo, but he can't quite take down Bear. Now Dara's joining LeBlanc, trying to help him out. Plugo going to flash up forward. There's the Sonya's Hourglass Vedius. He lives to fight another day.
Well, respect to Heredi for getting the outplay right at the very end. 3 kills go down.
Seros!
I don't think anything more needs to be said. Good job, sir. He has to clean up the kills. He has to have the last word. 8, 1, and 4 on this Diana right now. Sure, maybe his farm isn't the greatest, but he makes up for it in kills. We're going to get a recap of exactly how that all came down. Tussle wanted to try and get the flank off, playing the squishy Kha'Zix. He feels like he has the support from Evie. Doesn't respect the damage coming out from Warren, which is a surprising amount. Heredi does come from over the wall. That exhaust is so valuable in keeping Evie alive. But fair play to Bear, he does a great job of being able to just pick up a return kill. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Seros just proving why Diana is apparently broken.
And he teleports up towards the top lane.
I'm helping. And then Dara just comes in for the cleanup.
Yeah, then we see Seros, just teleport to the top lane, flashes over the thick part of the wall, and just says, "Hello, Bear."
Here's a kill, there's a kill, everywhere's a kill, kill. I know how to play this game mode. Meanwhile, in the mid.
Oh, more action taking place here as Bear's already been able to pick up a kill on towards the opposing Pantheon. Both Pantheons down. Dara's the next one to fall. Kratos gets to jump through the brush, but he's going to be jumped on here. Good flash away to get back to safety. That's Fire and Ice fight over the Infernal Dragon.
So, LJL are going to be picking up that Infernal Dragon, and if anything makes Assassins more deadly, it is to empower all of their attacks with a bit of elemental damage. Now Plugo lying in wait for a pick. He could very well find it onto Tussle.
Saros is able to shove Plugo out of the brush. Tussle yet to be spotted, trying to get behind the team. Takes a cue from the LeBlanc. Warren and Plugo now backing away to safety. 42,000 gold to 37,000 gold. Currently in favor of the LJL squad.
So here, just backtracking to what happened in the river. Bear tries to carry out some vision. Evie does get spotted out. And then it's pretty much just Pantheon on Pantheon action. We will trade our Spartan for your Spartan. Meanwhile, Dara then also gets caught on the back foot, trying to play a little bit too aggressively. This is the difference between support LeBlanc and mid lane LeBlanc. You do get a little bit more gold if you hang around the mid lane. But it does actually force Kratos back because he saw Saros coming in from the flank. He realized he couldn't deal with that crazy Mama Jammer, and he was forced to back away, so they end up giving away the Infernal Drake.
Kratos again moving in towards the top lane. Does have his ultimate available. Dara is going to get stunned up, use the Mimic there. Can try and dash away, but decides not to. Ultimate being used by Kratos, but decides not to go in.
Watch him now be invisible for literally ever.
Unless he jumps on towards Dara, instead throws out the Boulder Strike. Does not connect, and he removes the invisibility.
So now we have returned to the neutral game. Both teams waiting for an opportunity to strike. A lot of vision coming down. A little bit more than what game one, but they have found Saros.
Trying to jump on top of him. Blue goes though! Almost gets deleted by Saros. Dara jumps in the wall, gets a kill. Saros not done yet. He gets two on towards Salio. Helios not going to try and run. Warren's next. Evie picks up the kill there with Team Fire. Tussle's flashing and leaping on top of Helio. Will get the slow down. One Q is all it would take to get the kill, but he just can't quite get it through the Hux-Tech Gunblade.
LAS thought that they had found Saros, but it was Saros who had found them. He is not afraid to turn around these fights, and he is so strong. Cleanly picks himself up. Easy kills. They're able to get the Baron.
It's why I like Bear. He does go in, can't quite get the Baron. Or does he? No, he can't quite get the Baron there, but he tries anyway, Vedius.
He does try, but have a look at the power of Saros right now. All four members try to come in for the collapse, and he just goes in for the one shot against Plugo. Even then, he's sitting in a 2 versus 1. He's still able to get the kill down onto Rengar. He would have got a kill onto Helios if his own minions hadn't betrayed him. And they end up getting 3 kills off the back of that. So, I mean, at this point, LAS really have no one that can kill Saros unless they can get to level 18. If that, Akali maybe gets the late game. If the cat gets the late game, who knows? But, I mean, right now, Saros is just way too strong.
Well, the LJL have a 10,000 gold lead over Latin America South. With that Baron buff, are going to be able to slowly push in towards Team Ice's base. Areti and Saros are grouping up towards the mid lane. They do have Evie close behind him on Pantheon. His Grand Skyfall is going to be back up shortly. Bear decides he wants to use his Yoma's Ghost Blade for a little bit, you know, run around a little bit.
It's because he feels that it would be unfair to his opponents if he had the active available. Therefore, he decided to use it.
Oh, he is a real man, Vedius. I'm learning that here today.
Like, his
he
clothing
just doesn't care.
Like, his clothing is entirely appropriate for his behavior this game.
He's dropping on people with sandals, Vedius. He doesn't care.
Like, he went into a Baron pit 5v1. He would have stolen it if he didn't lag, you know? Kratos right now potentially looking for an opportunity.
He's gone invisible, has found Tussle, but moving to see if he can get the rest of Team Fire, who have backed off. They're allowing Saros to split push in the top lane at the moment. The rest of the 4 are still grouped up. Teleport is available for this Diner if required, but he is chipping away at this turret rather quickly, and that's going to fall. Top lane, inner turret falls down.
Level 16 Diana. Someone has to go and deal with Saros right now. But I don't think anyone can. Like, he literally has a 3-level advantage on the highest level from LAS. This is going to be a tough mountain to climb as the rest of Team Fire push down the bottom lane.
Yeah, bottom lane, inner turret now under siege. 4 members of Team Fire working to try and take this one down. But Bear! He's doing what Bear does best. Jumps in. He gets obliterated though to start things off. Warren gets a full channel on, but can't quite find anyone to get the damage down. Here comes Saros looking for the cleanup. Helios is first. Kratos off to the side. Warren's trying to run away. The auto attacks just hurt way too much. Saros is going to go in just a second here as Warren is trying to run away. Gets the Q off, gets the kill. Kratos now trying to fight it one-on-one. But Saros says, come at me, bro, because I'm ready for this one. And Kratos will fall.
Team Fire get a clean 4-0. They have the Baron, they have the minions, and they are pushing into the base, maybe even looking for more kills.
Blugo trying his best. Tara tries to get the chains out. Saros, is he gonna go in? Do it, Saros. He can't quite do it. But Bear's back. Let's see what he can do. He's gonna get obliterated, but he gets the shutdown onto one. Saros. Tussel's gonna jump out, and Baron buff minions are working on the Nexus turrets.
Bear is my MVP regardless of who does well in this game because of how fantastically he is playing.
Well, there goes Helio. He tries to jump in, but gets shut down by Team Fire as soon as he gets anywhere close to their Japanese lineup.
My word, I have to have mad respect for LAS because they are just playing so aggressively. They don't care how far behind they are. They are just looking for fights. And again, Bear, the hero that Latin South America need to be the initiator. He doesn't care that he's only level 11. He just wants to go in. He starts to fight. The exhaust onto Warren was actually massive in mitigating so much of the damage. But at this point, Saros joins the fight. He then starts to clean up. There is no one that can deal with him. And he just shreds through the lineup of Team Ice.
He's just massive, Eddie Saros. He is too hard to kill and does way too much damage. Even goes for the one-on-one against Kratos. You guys watching the bottom left-hand corner of your screen there, you will see that the second Infernal Dragon of the game was picked up by the LGL squad during this time. So they now have 2 Infernal Dragons to work with to try and end this game. They're now 59,000 gold to 45,000 gold. And look at the damage dealt during that last team fight.
Yeah, Bear did so much damage. Woo! Really impressive stuff. Out-damaged the Kazakhs, out-damaged the block. Fair play to Bear. Really impressive on this Pantheon. 5, 8, and 6. I mean, that's a pretty good scoreline for Pantheon.
I mean, I know Bear was one of Atlas's favorite players because he had a really cool name. He's now one of my favorite players in this tournament, because he is a man.
In Latin South America, he was voted in just because of how popular he is with the fans. He is just such this lovable, cuddly guy that just plays like a hero. I absolutely love it. So let's see what else he can bring out. Maybe he has a couple of tricks left for us.
Well, now he's trying to run away with Kratos, who is currently invisible. That will run out.
It's not running away. He's luring them into a trap.
Ah, I see.
All right. Bear does not run.
It's a tactical decision, you would say.
He does not run from death. He simply laughs at it.
Well, he's laughed at it 8 times now, Venius. He's not doing the worst in his team. Helio is currently 1-8-0.
Yep.
Not a great scoreline. We've seen a couple of top laners not do too well here, but Bear, he wants to go in again. Let's see what he can do. Stuns up Saros. Warren's gone in. Can't get a full channel off. That's a double kill already for Team Fire. Tussel's now leaping all over the place. He gets a double. They're going to clean the house up here as Team Ice hit the deck. Team Fire, they get the ace.
Admiration is all I have for Latin South America after that fantastic performance. LJL, yes, you played very well. You played smart, you played calculated, and my God, Saros, you outperformed once more. But you just can't take anything away from the LAS, because that was such an entertaining game.
It certainly was. I mean, LJL, they have a few tricks up their sleeve for IDBCA. This is probably one of them. Saros went off on that Diana. We've seen how well he can play, not only in 1v1s, but in the Summoner's Rift match at Venice. And now in Assassin mode, just flaunting what he has. Doing fantastic for the LGL team.
I'm a little bit disappointed in Heredi. The build path, not manly enough for me. I felt like he could have gone for the Death Cap much earlier on. But nevertheless, still a great performance. 3-1 and 6 coming out from Heredi. So playing very smart, playing very calculated. Helio definitely did struggle on the Akali at 1-9 and 0. Never really had an opportunity to get going. During the laning phase, he was actually doing a lot of work, but then so much jungle attention came to the top half of the map that it really did make things difficult for him. But still, a lot of fun, once again, from this game mode. The Katarina definitely made some fantastic plays. They got a 2 versus 2 kill down in the bottom lane. And I mean, just have to round things out with Bear. I mean, what a player, what a man.
That man is a real man, Venius. One day I hope to be exactly like him and just go in and not care about anything else.
He just didn't care. He was like, team, I'm going in.
I'm pretty sure if I did that, you know, my team would flame me half the time because that's why I don't play like Bear, but I should play like Bear because he's an absolute monster here. And he was fantastic for the Latin America South side. Unfortunately, they were not able to pick up the win, but they put on a great show. And just like Carbon was telling us earlier this morning, Vedius, I mean, It's an action-packed game mode. There's tons of kills. It lasts about 30 to 40 minutes, and it's just exciting the entire time.
But there's so many assassins that the snowball is real, and what we're seeing more and more of is Diana is definitely a power pick. I feel like both teams need to get a Diana just to deal with the other Diana. So I definitely feel like moving into the later games today, she will be somewhere near the top of the priority ladder.
Certainly feels like that. Another thing you mentioned was the fact that slowly these teams kind of understand that assassin meta. They start to pick the same champions, and we still haven't seen a few of the assassin picks.
Yeah, where's the parkour, ladies and gentlemen? I still want to see a bit of talent up in the top lane. What we did see, though, is Mithy's team composition actually getting dismantled. So
we certainly did. So Mithy might have to theorycraft a little bit more there. But for more on that win, Hingers is standing by with Haredi from Japan's LJL.
Thank you, King Sam and Stuart. All right, I'm here with Haredi right now. And first of all, congratulations. And I want to ask about the draft. You guys prioritized Ari. What was the strategy behind that?
今回おめでとうございます。で今回の構成として、アーリーを優先的に選んだと思うんですけど、それってどういう、プロセスで考えられたんですか？